G'day ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and everyone in between. It's Matthew here from howtoplaythesax.com, where we are all about having fun, playing saxophone, being awesome and repeating. In today's lesson, what I thought we'd do is an Australian classic. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, there was a band called Cold Chisel. And Cold Chisel, quite simply, they are awesome. Cold Chisel are awesome. However, arguably, their heyday was back in the late 70s, early 1980s. Cold Chisel were huge in Australia. They still are, but back then they were huge in Australia. I don't honestly know if they've had any of their songs overseas. I don't know, but in Australia, Cold Chisel were huge. They had a song called Saturday Night. Saturday Night was kind of a sort of a power ballad, sort of a quiet thing that kind of every now and then came in with some screaming with the vocals and big guitars and stuff. And towards the end of the song, there's this fantastic saxophone riff. The film clip, I'll put a link to the film clip below, but the film clip, the saxophone players are playing in a big cavernous underground tunnel kind of thing. It's really cool. It's a rock and roll, screaming saxophone little riff. It's perfectly suited for our alto saxophones, and in fact it was recorded on an alto saxophone as well. So how does it go, I hear you cry? Just have a listen. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do in this lesson. Cold Chisel, Saturday Night, the sax riff at the end. It sounds like this. It does that a few times, and there's a little bit of a kind of a jam sort of thing at the end where the sax player makes it up, but that's the idea. That is the idea. So with this song, we are thinking raunchy, we're thinking rock and roll sax. We go ah, ba 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 da ba 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 da ba da. Cool. Cold Chisel. They had lots of guitars. They were kind of loud. So think loud, think raunchy, think rock. Think a snare. We're not being nice here. We can play it nicely. Please don't. We go, rock and roll, rock and roll. Okay, those notes, how does it go? The first little bit. Those notes starting on a D, middle D. Middle D with the register key, and we're going to go all the way up to a high D, to this guy, this side key here. Not this one, not this one. This side key, the high D, we're using our inside knuckle there to play that, and we've still got the register key. Got the register key on with our thumb, so we are using our side key. That's the high D. So we're going from a middle D up to a high D. You've been playing your scales, haven't you? Of course you have. Hands up who's been playing their scales. Yes, good, good, good. Or you could probably play them one more time, maybe tomorrow. But don't get hung up on the scales. But one of the reasons I'm talking about scales is because we're going to do a D major scale very quickly. Doesn't have to be note for note perfect. If you can nail a D major scale. D major from a middle D all the way up to a high D. Then da 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 D D B da 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 da. Then it goes da 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 da. So those notes. Let's do the whole thing. We go up to our high D, D D B D B A A F sharp A B. Notes along the bottom. Let's just do it nice and slowly. If you can't quite nail the ba every time, that's cool. Don't stress about it. Let's just try straight onto our D, nice and slowly. Ba 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 2, 3, 4. Cool, this is good. That is the first half of the main riff. The second half of the main riff is very, very similar. It's da 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 da, and then it changes the second half of those notes. Just have a listen. Just have a listen. This is the second half. So those notes starts off the same, high D with the side key and the register key, D, D, B, A, B, F, E, D, F, E, D. In the first half, we played an F sharp. This second half, we're playing an F. So those notes again, D, D, B, A, B, F, E, D. Let's play that second half nice and slowly. Join in with me. We'll play it a few times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 2, 3, 4. Cool. How are you going? How are you going? Excellent. Good. This is good. Let's put those two lines together. Let's put those two lines together. Ba 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 ba. Let's put those two lines together. Are you ready? Let's play it all together. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. How'd you go? Again, 2, 3, 4. Cool. This is good. This is good. Just a little bit of an aside. The reason I've chosen this song is A, because it was suggested, but beside that, it's a really cool song. But B, these high notes are a good thing to practice. Don't squeeze with the high notes. It's tempting with the high notes to squeeze and because we're doing rock and roll, yeah, but don't squeeze. Our faces remain relatively static, if that helps. In the song, it does that over and over again. It does that a lot towards the end of the song. Trust me, it'll all make sense. Trust me. Okay, let's play along with Cold Chisel. Now, we'll pick it up sort of towards the end of the song. We'll pick it up with the last little bit of the verse. Then there's a bit of guitar happening. There's a big guitar bit. And then there's the main kind of riff. The singer sings Saturday night, and then we go ba 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 ba. Then the singers sing Saturday night. Then we go ba 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 da ba da 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 da. So I'll call it. Here we go. So we'll join in. We'll pick it up the end of the verse. There's the end of the verse. Here's the guitars. Here's the guitars. All right, listening to the vocals. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, now. One. There's 2. Last time. And we just make something up at the end there. Cool. How did you go? How did you go? I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Again, I'll put the links to this song down below. Download the cheat sheet. Have a bit of a play with this song. Listen to the whole song. It's really cool. The sax doesn't come in until right at the end. The song goes for about 4.5 minutes. We, as saxophone players, only play for the last minute or so, just that riff. But really cool song, really cool song. It's a really cool song. Speaking of really cool songs and really cool things, you are awesome. You are very cool because you play the saxophone. I don't know if you know, but by definition, because you play the saxophone, you are the epitome of coolness. You are awesome. Hopefully you're having fun. Hopefully you're playing your saxophone. I know you are awesome. Please keep repeating the whole process. My name is Matthew. Thank you very much for visiting me here again inside the members area at howtoplaythesax.com. I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between. Thanks heap for joining me in this free saxophone lesson. Please, just want to remind you, if you are looking for the full lesson, we've left a little bit out of this lesson you've just done. If you're looking for the full lesson, please become a member at howtoplaythesax.com, and I'll see you inside the members area for this full lesson and many, many, many others. I'll see you at howtoplaythesax.com. My name is Matthew. Thank you. I'll see you in another lesson.